Friends, this is the Global Take with me, Ariel Cohen. Last Friday, the United States tried unsuccessfully to broker a ceasefire in the fighting between Armenia and Azerbaijan in the Nagorno-Karabakh region that is located in the Caucasus between the two countries, between Armenia and Azerbaijan. Since the earlier conflict in the late 80s, early 90s, both Nagorno-Karabakh, which is mostly populated by Armenians, and the 7 regions that are the Azerbaijani territory that lie further west from Karabakh, between Karabakh and Armenia itself, but it's Azerbaijani. The fighting there continues, and the ceasefire faltered after earlier ceasefires brokered by Russia also failed. What does it tell us? A couple of things. Number one is that even when the great powers, such as the United States and Russia, are involved, if the two sides want to continue to fight, the mediation or the effort to stop fighting will fail. We need the will of both sides to bring this fighting to a close and go to a diplomatic negotiations track. Unfortunately, it's not happening yet because for Armenians, it's an existential issue. They are so afraid of Azerbaijan and their ally, Turkey, that they think this is their lives they're fighting for. Secondly, we see that Azerbaijan, that didn't prove itself very well back in the 90s, early 90s, when they fought the Armenians, came a long way and spent its oil income to buy new weapon systems, especially the drones from Turkey and from Israel, as well as other weapons from Russia and from others. So they built up their military, they equipped it, they trained it, and now they are fighting. The next thing is we see a new situation in the South Caucasus that was historically a Russian sphere of influence, at least Moscow thought it was their sphere of influence, but now Turkey barged in just as they barged in Syria, in Libya, and elsewhere. And I frankly think at this point that Moscow doesn't know what to do, because Armenia is traditionally their ally, and even if they don't like Prime Minister Pashinyan because he came to power in a popular revolution called the Velvet Revolution 2 years ago, they cannot lose face if Armenia totally folds, totally fails. So there are reports of Russia sending weapons to Armenia, and also some Russian troops that are already located in Armenia being moved closer to the Karabakh theater of war. Where does it leave us? Not in a good place. As long as there is a commitment on both sides to continue to fight, the fighting that is going on now for a month will continue, and the great power mediation, the UN resolutions, the Security Council resolution that we didn't get, will not help. So my hope and prayer is to minimize the suffering. There will be enough commitment from the Armenians to satisfy the Azerbaijanis to stop the fighting, go to a ceasefire that Armenia desperately wants, but at the same time, there will be a realistic track to resolve this in negotiations. And finally, a US dimension. President Trump pushed for the ceasefire and for the negotiated process because Armenians who are going to vote in the presidential elections want a ceasefire. But it's a small vote. Trump is not going to spend all his political capital. And we saw that what he did was not sufficient, and in any way, the majority of the American Armenian population is voting Democrat. They're located in Massachusetts, in California, and elsewhere. One final thought. In a situation where there's no direct confrontation between the US and Russia, we could work with Moscow, and Putin actually made noise that he sees the United States and Russia working together for the ceasefire, and we do not have a fundamentally opposing interest there. We don't want Russia and Turkey to go to war over the Armenia-Azerbaijan conflict. I hope this was helpful. Thank you very much, and let's have a peaceful day. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to get more content like this.